The Strait of Gibraltar, known to the ancient Greeks and Romans as the Pillars of Hercules, is a narrow channel that connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. This small maritime channel passes between two important continents with a distance of just 13 kilometers at its closest point. At this point, Africa and Europe come so close together that if you stand on one side, you can easily see the other continent. However, no bridge has yet been built to connect them. Over the past several decades, countless proposals have been made to connect both continents via land routes. This route is quite important because it can connect 450 million people in the European Union with 1.5 billion people in Africa. This will have a significant impact on the economies of both continents. Trade could increase, transportation would improve, and tourism would also rise considerably. But the question is, if there are so many benefits, why has no bridge been built over the Strait of Gibraltar so far? The Strait of Gibraltar connects to major bodies of water, the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. This strait is about 57 kilometers long, with a width of only 8 miles or 13 kilometers at its narrowest points between Tarifa in Spain and the Moroccan coast. Speaking of depth, the average depth of the entire strait is about 1,200 feet or 365 meters. While the strait may seem small in appearance, its significance is immense, as it serves as a natural passage between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic Ocean. When compared to the Suez Canal, which is a man-made canal, providing a route for ships between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean, its width is much narrower, posing a constant risk of large ships getting stuck. The Strait of Gibraltar provides an open route for large cargo ships, resulting in a significantly higher number of ships passing through here. Every year, around 20,000 ships traverse the Suez Canal, 14,000 pass through the Panama Canal, and astonishingly, over 100,000 ships navigate the Strait of Gibraltar. Many cargo vessels transport valuable goods from the Western Hemisphere to the Middle East, Africa, and Europe, while some even cross the Suez Canal to reach Asia and China. Similarly, ships traveling from the Middle East to Western Europe or America must also use the Strait of Gibraltar. And since the strait is close to oil-rich countries, the passage of oil vessels here is a daily occurrence. According to a report, around 300 oil vessels pass through the strait daily, with a value in the billions of dollars. The Strait of Gibraltar is a crucial trading route for global markets, and this is why the employment of neighboring countries is also connected to it. The Algeciras port in Spain is one of the largest shipping ports in Europe, and the Tangier port in Morocco is also rapidly growing. Considering the financial benefits from trade and tourism, many people are surprised that a bridge has not yet been built to connect these two regions of the world. It's not that there hasn't been consideration for this. Since 1979, several feasibility studies and proposals have been made, but there are issues that make building a bridge here quite challenging. First, let's talk about the estimated cost of this bridge. According to estimates, building a bridge over the Strait of Gibraltar could cost anywhere from $5 billion to $20 billion, as this bridge would be quite complex compared to other major bridges in the world. One issue is that any bridge built here must be designed in such a way that the world's largest ships can easily pass beneath it, which is easier said than done. But this might be quite difficult. We will discuss why this is difficult later. However, who will bear the cost, which ranges from $5 to $20 billion? It is evident that the countries benefiting from the strait will have to bear this cost. So far, the political leadership of these two countries has never been able to reach an agreement. Spain argues that Morocco would benefit more from the bridge, so they should bear a larger portion of the cost, while Moroccan leadership wants the costs to be split 50-50. The second issue is the feasibility of the bridge. In other words, how beneficial will will it be after it is made? For instance, when discussing the Channel Tunnel between the UK and France, the cost amounted to 14.5 billion US dollars. However, every year, over 20 million passengers use this tunnel. A passenger can travel from the UK to France for £121, or about $150. This tunnel generates nearly $30 billion every year. If a bridge were built over the Strait of Gibraltar, would it earn double its construction cost, making it easy to recover the expenses? This is viewed with skepticism because Morocco is a country with a GDP of only $130 billion, which is significantly lower than that of Pakistan. If a bridge costing $5 billion US dollars were built and a minimum fee of $20 were charged, while the Channel Tunnel serves 20 million passengers annually, the Gibraltar Bridge would need to accommodate 250 million passengers to cover its costs, which are quite realistic. The next challenge is the construction of the bridge. As you've learned, the Strait of Gibraltar is a very busy route for ships. Keeping this in mind, a bridge needs to be built that does not disturb this traffic. This means the bridge would have to be quite high, posing a significant challenge for engineers. The average depth of the Strait of Gibraltar is 1,200 feet, but in some places it exceeds 3,000 feet. The tallest bridge pillars ever built in the world are even taller than the Burj Khalifa, yet they are only 1,100 feet high, erecting pillars over 3,000 feet tall underwater in the Strait of Gibraltar would be a task that makes engineers very anxious. The strong water currents here are also not the same. Water at the ocean floor flows from east to west, while at the surface it flows from west to east. Therefore, if such tall pillars were erected here, they would have to withstand water pressure from both sides. However, the greatest threat to this bridge would not come from the world's largest pillar standing in the water, but rather from tectonic plates. Yes, our Earth's crust is made up of different sections known as tectonic plates, which are constantly shifting. Where these plates meet, earthquakes are quite common. Unfortunately, the African and Eurasian plates meet right at the location of the Strait of Gibraltar. So even if a bridge were built here, the outcome could be quite terrible. In this region, surviving an earthquake is just a game of time. In 1755, the Lisbon earthquake struck with a magnitude of 8.5 to 9 on the Richter scale, causing widespread destruction in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. Similarly, in 1960, a 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck Agadir, causing devastation in Agadir and Morocco. Thus, building a bridge over the Strait of Gibraltar means it would have to withstand the harsh currents of the Atlantic Ocean as well. 9. We will also have to endure the earthquake of magnitude. Along with all these dangers, the ocean floor of the Strait of Gibraltar is also unstable. Researchers claim that there are layers of soft clay beneath the strait that cannot support any structure. This soft clay can easily shift during geological activity or under any pressure. Geologists have warned that any construction project in this area could fail due to the presence of enclave channels. However, this does not mean that the two continents cannot be connected in any way. Several alternatives have been proposed, such as building a tunnel beneath the floor similar to the Channel Tunnel between the UK and France, but this would only increase the project's costs, raising questions about its feasibility. On the other hand, Spain and the European Union countries believe that building a tunnel or bridge would significantly increase the number of African refugees or illegal immigrants in Europe, making control very challenging. These are the reasons why, despite the proximity of the two continents, no bridge has yet been built over the Strait of Gibraltar. We hope that you all will like and share this video from Monu Chill abundantly. Thank you all for your loving comments. In the next amazing video,